Topic number one, man, for today is Jimmy Butler overrated. The Miami Heat, they are down now 3 games to 2. They lost at home to the Boston Celtics in game 5. So the Celtics could possibly lock this thing up in game 6, knock the Heat out of the playoffs and head on to the NBA Finals. A lot of talk over the years have been, where do we stand at as far as the position of Jimmy Butler? Is he a superstar? Is he a star? Is he overrated, underrated? Where do you really position Jimmy Butler among the ranks of other elites in the game? Now, he had a bad performance last night, but when I look at Jimmy's overall body of work, he brings a certain element to every team: Chicago, Minnesota, Philadelphia, and Miami. But he's not marketable. He consistently plays at a high level, but the numbers don't consistently show as far as high stats compared to what we see from other superstars, quote unquote, in the league. I don't necessarily think that I think he can at some point make people around him play better, for the simple fact that he's a grinder. So I do think that he helps his teammates play better to a point, but I don't know if he helps them win. It is what it is. I don't think Jimmy Butler is quite yet a superstar. He's not marketable. He doesn't have any hardware. He doesn't threaten to look like he's going to get any hardware the way things are going. I thought Miami really had a shot this season, but he would have to really play big time, like averaging almost 30 points a game, high 20s consistently. You know what I'm saying? As well as putting up that elite presence on the defensive end. And I don't know if Jimmy Butler has really ever been capable of doing that. And it seems to me, even though he has a decent supporting cast in Miami, if we're going to label him a superstar, that's what we're going to have to see from him, as well as getting some hardware. MVP, I just don't see it ever. Maybe in the finals or Eastern Conference Finals, but a regular season MVP, that's just not what we get out of Jimmy Butler. I don't want to call him overrated or underrated. I feel like, with me personally, he's in a position in the space that I think he should be in, but I wouldn't classify him as a superstar because there's things missing, and I don't think he actually got it in the tank. To be honest, I don't think it's about the situation that he's in or his age. I just don't think that is within him to make it to that next level of superstar status. So Jimmy, to me, I'm not going to really down him, but I wouldn't put him up there as a superstar. He's definitely one of the NBA stars, one of the guys I would want on my team, no doubt about that. But I don't think he's a superstar. Should the Brooklyn Nets commit to Kyrie Irving? That's been the real talk, the discussion on, in today's sports topics. Honestly, I don't feel like Brooklyn has a choice. If Kyrie and KD stay focused, they're going to be a problem. We already know that. The issue has just been availability. And you might can set the standard letting Kyrie know that you were unhappy with his availability and how you're not going to really take that. But to me, you don't have a choice but to keep him. Because what's going to wind up happening is you're going to try to appease to the people in the public by letting Kyrie go because he wasn't vaccinated or he didn't play. You're going to let him go to try to appease some fans and stuff like that. And your organization is going to go downhill. Now, there's reports that Kevin Durant haven't even spoke to the Brooklyn Nets organization since they were eliminated. So I don't know if KD is falling back to see what they're going to do with Kyrie. Or maybe all this was a game plan, just, all premeditated in order for, Kyrie and KD. Maybe they max out on something. I don't really know, but I don't see Brooklyn winning by subtraction in this situation. Kyrie, yes, he has been a little bit of an issue, but you just can't let go of that type of talent, even though it's not been consistently on the court. You just can't risk it when you have nothing else going for you. I'm going to be honest. I'm not blaming Brooklyn at all, but I just think they need to hang tight. And maybe they might need to commit to Kyrie, at least in the front. On the back end, if they want to work on a trade or something because they just feel like he's not going to be that guy that's going to be consistent for them, that's fine. But I don't think you let go of the opportunity to have Kyrie and KD in your uniform at the end of the day. You just got to play it out. You know what I'm saying? You just got to play it out. There's talks about would Kyrie and Russell Westbrook be a decent trade? Does that make sense to link Russell Westbrook back up with Kevin Durant and LeBron with Kyrie? I think that's fantasy basketball. I don't think that Kevin Durant would take the green light on that at all. And LeBron, for all the little disrespectful things that Kyrie have said, even though maybe LeBron would take Kyrie back. We've seen LeBron do some wild things, and maybe LeBron would take Kyrie back, because if he took Kyrie back and they won something, Kyrie would definitely be forever looked at as a Robin. And all those little slick little comments he had towards LeBron James, he would pretty much be eating his words while still winning the championship with the guy. So maybe LeBron can be that petty and would welcome Kyrie to the purple and gold. But I just don't see that happening. I just don't see mathematically it happening. And I damn sure don't see Kevin Durant signing off on Russell Westbrook again. I just don't. Before we get up out of here real quick, man, we're going to have another show later on. Myself and D-Money going to chop it up. Quick fan mail question comes from Eltwan Harrison out in here in Glen Burnie, Maryland. Eltwan wants to know, could Magic Johnson be a head coach for the Los Angeles Lakers? Oh, man. I mean, that's a good one, because we're asking for people to play that position that we haven't seen coaching in a long time, namely like Mark Jackson. You know, they've interviewed the Juwan Howard. He declined. They might be looking at Darwin Ham from the Milwaukee Bucks. You know, it'll be his first coaching experience. I don't know. Magic is very known around the league, but that means he'll be under Pelinka. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, Eltwan. And I think for that one reason alone, I don't think Magic would ever coach the Lakers as long as Rob Pelinka is the general manager. Like something would have to be different. The only way I can see that happen is if they put Rob in a whole different position that has no type of authority over Magic. But Jeannie loves Rob just as much as Magic. So I just don't think that would ever work. I think the players will respect him. You know, Magic, I think, was a player coach at one point, not, for an extensive amount of time. So I'm not going to say you don't do it. Magic Johnson, basketball IQ is out of this world. But, everything backdoor behind the scenes, I think, would just be a recipe for disaster if you're talking about Magic being a head coach for this Los Angeles Lakers team. Just my thoughts, man. Episode 133 is in the books. You guys are now rocking with the best. This is